Well, hi everyone. This is our Hawaiian Volcano Summary for October 3rd, 2024. Kīlauea is recharging, refilling with magma following its recent eruption at Nāpau Crater, which is here on this map of the rift zone. Earthquakes have been down, granite formation has been down, especially in this area around the recent eruption site, but does still continue at low rates, leading scientists to believe that magma is still supplying this Middle East rift zone area with magma from the summit. And if that continues for some time, it could lead to further intrusions or eruptions, as we've seen in the recent pattern this year. More recently, the earthquakes have been plotting underneath the south caldera and the main caldera itself. These earthquakes are colored by depth. So these yellow and orange ones are slightly deeper than we see earthquakes usually in the main magma reservoir region, which is usually all in orange and sometimes in the red. So a little bit deeper, and this corresponds to the area around the base of the volcanic pile where the old seafloor used to be. That's about 5 miles down. So these are not the super deep earthquakes we've talked about in the past that are by the root of the volcano. It's within the volcano itself, but near the bottom of it, which is below the magma system. So that's happening, and we believe that the magma rate into Kīlauea still remains high, as it has over the last several years, and really before that in the build-up to the 2018 eruption. So the rate coming in is still high. We've had a disruption to the East Rift, and so we're refilling. Maybe we're seeing some signs of the magma repressurizing from the summit region to start, and then we'll see that propagate down the rift. Over the last week, the earthquake depths as plotted in a depth versus time plot. You can see that yellow band coming in right in here. And so this is over the last few days, especially, that's picked up beyond what's normal for these earthquakes to occur in the background. So here's the earthquake counts over the past month. Even with those extra earthquakes, we're still at overall very low counts of earthquakes per day. So here is the period following the recent eruption, which had a lot of earthquakes as the pressure built up to it. And as pressure relieved, the earthquakes reduced significantly. The counts came crashing down and have been pretty low, with some minor little cycles within there ever since. Well, that's the monitoring on Kīlauea. You can see that the summit ground tilt is showing inflation once again. So the summit is once again refilling with magma, causing the ground to tilt there. If we go to the south caldera, we can see the south caldera is also showing a very slight signal as well, but it's hard to read considering the massive change is also plotted on this graph that occurred during the eruption. At the escape road, close to the intrusion site at Mauna Ulu, we see a little sign of inflation there as well. But further over at Pu'o'o, we can see that the signal is stabilized there as well. All right, so showing deflation coming down, and as well the stabilization of the signal from the west as well. So those are the signals on the East Rift, and we have one recent radar map that's been updated showing the cumulative effect of that eruption with subsidence at the summit, the dike opening here in this Mauna Ulu area, where we're seeing that slight signal, and not as much over at Pu'o'o, where we're seeing no signal at all today. Right, and here's a recent lava flow in the Nāpau Crater. So that sums up what's happened with Kīlauea over the last couple of weeks since lava stopped flowing. Mauna Loa has been very quiet. Earthquake rates have still been very low, earthquakes per month here, following its 2022 eruption, very similar pattern there. And Mauna Loa's earthquakes versus depth versus time over the last year now is also showing this pattern of magma recharging further down below the magma chamber as well. So a little bit deeper filling in Mauna Loa, and that's the same pattern as we're seeing in Kīlauea today. So that's our Hawaiian volcano summary for this week.